Did you know what else is? That's right. Take it away, Ben. Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. It's Jose here, welcoming you to another episode of Amazing Worlds, where today I'm going to be reviewing Best Served Cold by Joe Abercrombie, aka Lord Grimdark, which is a standalone book in his First Law world. So this is part of a read-along that I am doing with Steve Talks About Books and Stuff and Jolien from Jolien Reads, and we will be doing an online live discussion on the 6th of February. More details to be forthcoming in the next few weeks. But if you haven't done so, check my review of the First Law trilogy that I did some time ago. And basically, where does this sit within the First Law world? Events take place after the First Law trilogy, but the beauty about this book is that it is a standalone. It can be read before, after the First Law trilogy. It's not required previous reading. Some characters and some events are referenced, but they're not necessary at all to understand and enjoy the book. And oh my god, enjoy I did. This book had me cringing with disgust, literally laughing out loud, and thoroughly enjoying it from beginning to end. So what we have here is a revenge tale. It's a revenge tale of a mercenary leader who gets betrayed by the lord that she serves and embarks on a quest for revenge. I mean, you are told that from the very beginning. I'm not spoiling anything here. And then what we have is a series of set pieces in different settings within the world where she enacts her act on revenge on the different people that betray her and kill her brother. So that's about it. But this being Joe Abercrombie, there are some pretty dark and nasty twists and turns. There are not so much of an expected twist at the end. I could see that coming. There's a character there. I don't want to give anything away, but the character of Shanked, I was expecting him to be who he is from the beginning. But the dialogue is on point. It's funny. The characters are likable and hateable at the same time, pretty much all of them, and that's the whole grim dark thing. No one is perfect, everyone is flawed, and you're going along with the ride. You cannot really root for our main character, Monza Murcato, because effectively she's enacting her revenge, even though she realizes that this is bringing her no joy and it's not making her life any better, but yet she carries on with this series of assassinations. Along the way, she is helped by Cole Shivers, which is a barbarian / Viking Northman in this world, a master poisoner, probably one of my favorite characters in the book, and his apprentice, and a couple of other people along the way. Now, as I said, this is right up my street. I thoroughly enjoyable, great characters, great dialogue, great action pieces. But if I have to be honest here, this is not a fantasy book. Contrary, maybe controversial here, contrary to what many people may think, this is not a fantasy book. When I did my review of the First Law Trilogy world, I remarked upon the fact that there's very little fantasy in this world. And in this standalone novel, there's no fantasy, okay? This world that the action and the characters are set and take place is pretty much a sort of medieval Italy, medieval Europe place that is very easily identifiable. The Northmen are your Vikings. This is all very white medieval Europe type thing, with no magic, no magical creatures, no fantastical creatures, no nothing. As I was reading the book, I was thinking that actually the setting is totally relevant to the story. This is more of a character and plot rather than world building type book. And I kept on thinking that actually this could have, the same story could have easily been told in a same post Great Depression mafia gangster type setting where a capo regime is betrayed by his don and he embarks on a quest for revenge, killing the people that wronged him or her along the way, and the story would have been exactly the same. Nothing would have changed. So that's my feeling about it. So if you're looking for a fantasy book, this is not it. However, if you're looking for an engrossing book with great dialogue, characters, situations, pace, everything else, you gotta hear for sure. This has been my best read and my most enjoyable read in over a year by far. This trumps anything I've read on the Wheel of Time. I keep talking about the Wheel of Time because I'm doing it. I'm getting there. I'm going through it. But I'm so glad I stopped to read this. This was really, really good. Whether I am going to pick up the other two standalones in the series, I think is beyond a doubt. But whether I'll be joining Steve and joining and doing one a month, January, February, March, I am not sure. I really like it, but I want to read other things and I want to finish the Wheel of Time. And one final word on the world building before I head out that I forgot to mention while recording the video is that this is how basic the world building is in the First Law universe. So at one point in Best Served Cold, our characters go into this city, which is characterized by the wealthy, noble families of the city building these huge towers in their homes, trying to outdo each other. Well, that's the city of Bologna in Italy. I've been there, and that exactly that. The noblemen of the early Renaissance used to build these huge towers that served no purpose because they had no rooms. It was just literally a tower that you could go up to the top and see which family built the tallest tower in the town, and that was it. So world building kept to a minimum, heavily inspired by medieval Europe, so not requiring much here, which kind of ties in with my last video last week about the problems with classic fantasy. Anyway, sorry for the interruption, and let's get back to the main review. This was truly fantastic. The beautiful thing about it, actually, is that if you heard about Joe Abercrombie, if you're curious about the First Law world and what he's done, easily you could pick this one up. It will give you a fantastic taste for what he does, and then you could go back to the First Law or read the standalones and do First Law or not do it or whatever, because that's the great thing about a standalone. It gives you a complete story beginning to end, great introduction to the setting, the world, the style of writing, the author, and really, really enjoyable, I keep saying. So, for me, yes, I'll be picking up Heroes and Red Country, the next two standalones in the series. I don't know when. So, thoroughly enjoyable, literally laugh out loud. There's a particular scene where they are recruiting a gang of artist performers slash killers, assassins. So they're going to be assassins, but able to perform either musical instruments or juggling or where it was funny. It was ridiculous, really, really funny. But again, you've got the torture scenes, you've got the grim, dark stuff, everything you could wish for in here. And I'm going to stop now because I'm just ranting and rambling and repeating myself. But there you go. This is all I've got for today. As usual, thank you ever so much for watching. Please, please, please like, subscribe, comment, Let me know what you think. Dislike if you feel inclined to do so. Take loads and loads of care, and I will see you next time.